Have you ever been told, no, there's not availability for you to get an upgrade? There are no tickets at that time. You cannot have that table, or we're fully booked, or whatever the case may be. Most people talk about manifesting and manifesting things and money and lovers and their significant soulmate partner. Most people have receiving blocks, and spirit and your high self and you want to be able to learn how to receive without feeling guilty, without feeling shameful, without feeling that you have to do something hard or work hard to receive what it is your heart truly desires. So there's also another piece that's really important, and that is actually shifting things in the moments when it seems or someone is saying no to you, that there is not an availability. So I have shifted and changed plane tickets, once from Panama to Los Angeles when I did not have a direct flight. I had a different ticket on a different whatever, I don't remember exactly, and I wanted to fly home. I was just teaching a yoga surf retreat there, and I wanted to go home with everybody on the trip and fly a direct flight. For whatever reason, it didn't happen when I booked my ticket, but I shifted and changed that in that very moment when there were many, many other people that also wanted to get on that flight. This is really important because I looked over and I saw a waiting list of at least 50 people that wanted to get on that flight. I got on that flight. I did not even pay an exchange fee. I paid nothing to be on that flight, that direct flight home to Los Angeles with the people that I had just spent an amazing however many days with on a beautiful retreat. I have shifted and changed or received tickets first class on trains in India that I was told were booked solid, that I received the experience of being first class with someone coming and basically helping me and getting me on that first class seat. I have received so many tables, situations, and events that I have shifted immediately. You know, you have the capacity to shift anything, to stop time, to change things, and to shift every situation. I have helped people out of lawsuits or situations that were completely financially devastating to them, and help them shift and change these situations. This is what I do. I have been practicing this since I was a child. It is part of receiving all of life with ease, grace, joy, and glory, and that you, my dear, have the capacity to shift and change anything. And I would love to help you learn how to do this, because when you can master this, you'll be a master of your own self, your mind, your body, your finances, your life, and who you are and who you came here to be, and create with magic and miracles. You see, you're not here as a mere mortal. You are here as a magnificent, spiritual, energetic being here having a human experience, and we're supposed to be activating that and illuminating that and living life from that place of you, my dear, are the magic, the miracles, and an amazing, beautiful creator. And you can shift and change so many things, whether it be your health, vitality, relationships, money, tables at restaurants, tickets, upgrades. It is real and it works. So I want to share a story with you. And I haven't shared this story before, and it's been a really long time, but I keep being guided to share this wonderful experience that I had when I was in India. So I went to India. I've been there 5 times. And the first time I went, I ended up staying for 6 months. The reason I went to India was because I had been in a car accident, and it was probably, I don't remember, my 11th or 12th car accident. And I ended up, didn't seem like a serious car accident at the time, but a couple weeks later, my entire body locked up on me, and I ended up barely being able to move. And I mean, I was in extreme pain, and I was told I would never be able to do yoga again. I would not be able to stand straight, that basically my body, it was done, over. And I spent about 6 months in bed. I couldn't move and doing everything that I could to get better. And I was going to my chiropractor, my kinesiologist, homeopathic doctor. I didn't do this particular work at this particular time. But my chiropractor, kinesiologist, homeopathic doctor really, really, really is an amazing doctor, amazing healer. Really helped me so many times in my life. Anyway, so he was helping me. And I basically went through all the money that I had saved. I was actually selling real estate at the time. And I went through about $40,000 to $50,000 in about 6 months. I cashed in like savings and investments, and I had some money saved, thank goodness. And all of a sudden I found myself not being able to move, not having any idea how I was going to survive. And I had $3,000 left to my name. And I had availability on one credit card with $1,500 on it available. And I had no idea where I was going to live the following month. I had no family to turn to. I had nothing, basically. And so it was like I was going to be on the street, homeless, not feeling good, not having my health, my vitality, and no idea if I was ever going to get better, because that's what I was told. I would never get better. When doctors and people tell us that, they are not God. They are not God. But you, my dear, are connected to a higher power, creator God of all that is, and you have the capacity to shift and change anything, whether it be your health, your vitality, your relationships, money, and create different situations. Now, at that time, I didn't realize how powerful I fucking was, although I had created a lot of amazing, beautiful things in my life, and I'd been working on it for many, many, many years. But mastery takes some time, and it takes these hard experiences sometimes to help us find out and discover who it is we really, truly are. And that you, my dear, have the capacity to shift, to change, to create healing, money, magic, miracles, soulmate partners that are aligned with your high self, with your heart, with your soul. Take a deep breath, because you know this to be true inside of your knowingness, inside of your being, just like I did. Take a breath and say, yes, I am open to discover my power, my magic, and who I am and who I came here to be, and receive all of life with ease, grace, joy, and delight, and create with magic, with love, with power. And this is not to be selfish. This is to help ourselves, but also have the capacity to help others and do good things with who we are and who we're meant to be and who we're here to be. So I've been practicing yoga, teaching yoga from the time I was 21 years old. And my teachers were talking about this guru in India, and that he was like Jesus walking the earth. I actually didn't really have any spirituality at that time. I did not believe in angels. I did not believe in God. I did not know, if it didn't exist and it wasn't tangible, I didn't really believe it was true and real. Yet, when I look back, there was always something guiding me in my life, helping me, protecting me, loving me, even though I had chaos and lots of trauma in my life. that's why I wanted to learn to master myself mentally, physically, spiritually, I'll say that now, and emotionally and financially, and in all areas and aspects of my life, and live a life that I absolutely loved and feel happy and healthy and like feel good in my body. That's the thing. It's like, don't you want to feel good, confident, powerful, loved, lovable? Yes. Worthy? Yes, you do. We all do. And we deserve that and require that. And that's what you came here to do, is to transform all lack, all limitation, shame and guilt, and all this crap that is keeping you stuck and less than. So this is the stuff that I help you do. And it is a game changer. So back to my experience going and being in India. So my teachers were telling me, well, you should go to India and see this guru. And I didn't know what else to do. I had $3,000 in my bank account and a $1,500 availability on a credit card. No idea how I was going to survive. So I decided to go to India to see this guru, because all the other things, the doors were closing. And we know what that means. Doors are closing. There's another thing waiting for us that is a new possibility and a miracle. So I put the ticket on my credit card, and I think it was like $1,350 or something like that. And this was many years ago. So I have my ticket. I go to India. I go to the ashram, and I am like, this is crazy shit. I couldn't comprehend it. I didn't like being there. I thought it was absolutely bizarre. So I decided I was going to take a trip to Buddha's pilgrimage, and I went on this beautiful journey from southern India all the way up through India. I went to Sarnath, the place where Buddha was born. I went to where he received enlightenment under the tree. I went to where he over the border of India to Nepal, to where he's like, say, buried or whatever it's called. I don't remember. But and I went to Varanasi and Rishikesh and Dharamsala. I saw the Dalai Lama. I had all these amazing, beautiful experiences over about a 5-month period. And then I went, and I wasn't planning to share all this, but I guess it's obviously important, and I'm just going to flow with it. So I hope it's interesting. Let me know. So then I ended up being guided to go to Leh, to Ladakh, to a very little tiny village town. It's on the border of Pakistan and China. And it was a 2-day bus ride through the Himalayan mountain range. And I'd had this most amazing journey. Anyway, I was in this tiny little Tibetan village, and it was absolutely incredible. And I ended up getting sick, very, very sick. And I spent about 7 days like really suffering, and I could barely move. And it's one of those things that if you had a gun, you'd like want to kill yourself because you're in so much pain. So in one of those experiences of just being in so much pain and freezing cold, it was like the guru came to me, and he just came to me, and he appeared, and it was like, oh, you gave me permission. This is going to sound so crazy, like, to go and play, to go and have this amazing adventure. Oh, by the way, I was wearing a brace, and I was taking anti-inflammatory protocol, and I had pain pills that I definitely tried not to take through this journey. I couldn't carry anything. I couldn't lift anything. It was very challenging to travel in India under those conditions. But I was determined, and it was so good for me, and it was so challenging, and I cried a lot and released walls and barriers of the way that I think that life should be. And it was so beautiful and so healing. So anyway, so I was like, so he was there, we were in the room, or he just appeared to me, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to go back to the ashram. And I promised myself and the guru I would sit there and be there for 30 days. And I would go to every single darshan, and I would do everything I could, and I would meditate, and I would pray, and I would do whatever was asked of me. So I took a deep breath and realized that I wanted to fly from Leh back to Delhi, and I wanted to see the Taj Mahal before I went all the way back down to southern India. Now, I traveled basically with no money. I did not travel first class. I did not take airplanes on this journey. I took trains, just like everyone else, in India. And I traveled and had an amazing experience. But was it hard? Yes. I wasn't used to those kinds of conditions living in America from Los Angeles. So, but I did it and I loved it and it was wonderful and it was great. But I also was living in a lot of lack. I had no idea how I was ever going to make money or how I was going to survive. So I was saving every single penny. But I was living in India, and living in India that at that time really wasn't that much money at that time. So anyway, so I went to the airport to fly to see if I could get a flight from Leh back to Delhi. And then I booked a ticket I was going to book a ticket from Delhi back to southern India. So I go to the airport and I look out, and there were like 50 or more people waiting to get on flights. And because of this high altitude and then this little valley, there were very limited flights, and it had been like this for months. So there were a lot of people wanting flights, and I mean for months. And they told me it was 3 months out to get a ticket on the flight. And I was like, I'm not waiting for 3 months, and I'm definitely not getting back on a bus, and I'm not traveling 2 days through the Himalayan mountain range again. I just barely was feeling good enough just to even stand up straight and go outside. I was super weak. So what did I do? I shifted and changed the situation that I was on the very next flight, the next day, from Leh, Ladakh, to Delhi. And that's exactly what I created. I received a phone call. I don't know if it was that night or the next morning that I was on the flight. And I've done this many, many times in many situations for myself and also for the people that I have the privilege of working with. I help you create and shift so many things: lawsuits, money, relationship situations, into ones that you love, aligned with your heart and your soul. So I fly into Delhi. I booked a hotel close to the airport. I was leaving the next morning to go back to southern India, and I wanted to see the Taj Mahal. And I really wasn't sure what the best way to go from Delhi to Agra to see the Taj Mahal was. I really was sick, I would say this, tired, sick and tired of suffering and like really traveling in such a way that was really hard on me. But I also didn't really want to spend that much money. So I wasn't sure exactly what to do. I wasn't getting a clear, clarity about what to do. So I ended up getting like this bus ticket that was supposedly sort of like, not first class, but like supposedly really nice, air conditioning bus. They're going to stop and give you lunch. You're going to get to the Taj Mahal. They're going to tour you around, and you're going to get back on the bus and go back home. So I'm on the bus, and it was like a nightmare, basically. And I was suffering. And I was like, wow, we were stopping, getting people along the way. They would stop. We would be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Everybody's having chai. It was like the no rush, slow mobile. And I wanted to get there, see the Taj Mahal, and get back and get some rest and get on my flight and get down to the ashram as soon as possible. So I'm in the middle of a couple hours. I don't remember how, it seemed like forever, how many hours the journey is from Delhi to Agra. But anyway, it was like I was not happy. And so what I did was I sat there and I said, okay, what is it that I really, truly desire? And I sat there and I thought about it and I felt it and I brought it into me. And what I truly desired was to get off that bus and get on a taxi or a rickshaw by myself. And I needed to have a good lunch, and I wanted to get to the Taj Mahal as soon as possible. And I just brought that into me, and I felt so grateful that was what I wanted. And I was going to get off that bus, and I didn't know how it was going to be created, but that's what was going to happen. And I was so clear about that is what I want, I desire, I require, and is going to happen. It is so fun. So a few moments later, it might have been 10 minutes later, the bus stops. And this young boy gets on the bus, and he announces to everybody, is there anybody that would like to get off the bus and get on my rickshaw, and I will take you to my uncle's restaurant, and then I will take you directly to the Taj Mahal by yourself. Now, normally I would have said no, especially, sorry, being in India, and I love India, but like, I that would seem like a no. But I was like, that's exactly what I prayed for. That's exactly what I just said I wanted. So I raised my hand and I stood up and I said, yes, I would love to go. This young boy took me to his uncle's restaurant. I had an amazing lunch. They had some jewelry, of course, that they wanted to sell. I bought one piece. I think I bought 4 things while I was in India traveling because I didn't really have any money. But I bought this beautiful cross. I'd never had a cross in my life. I bought this ruby cross, and I don't remember how much it was, but it probably wasn't hardly anything. But I felt like I was splurging on this cross. And then my other things were a Tibet, like a bowl, a singing bowl that I bought while I was in Tibet. So I still have that. And another a tapestry that was really beautiful. I think those are the only things that I actually purchased. And then some other gifts for other people. But for myself, that was it. Through all the time I was there, 6 months. Anyway, so then this young boy takes me to the Taj Mahal, and we get there and there's nobody there, like 1 or 2 people. And I was able to go to the Taj Mahal and sit there and walk and be there. And it was so quiet and calm and beautiful. And I just was so grateful. And then we're getting back into the rickshaw to go back. And all of a sudden, all the tour buses started pulling in. And I'm like 5, 10, 15, 20, and mobs of people were getting off to get in line to get into the Taj Mahal. And I was like, oh my gosh, what grace did I just receive? What divine, beautiful alignment. And I'll let you know that I've done this so many times in so many other situations, but this was really, really, really fun in my opinion. So I was like, wow, that was amazing. And then this young boy is taking me to the train station, and I wanted to take the fast train back to Delhi as quickly as possible. So I go and I look over. Oh, and it started raining. Just as soon as I was getting back into the rickshaw, it starts raining, and it was hot and it was humid and I felt dirty, and it was like, oh. And so I get to the train station and I look over, and there were so many people on the train, and I was like, oh my God, I just wanted a first class ticket. Just wanted to be in the air conditioning. I just needed some quiet and some calm and being able to sit in my own chair. And again, I'd never bought a first class ticket on anything or a second, nothing. I just traveled with everybody else, with the animals, with the people, and every situation in every way. I traveled to India like that. So I took a deep breath and I asked for the first class ticket, and they said it was sold out. There were none available for that day. And I looked back over and I saw all these people, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really love a first class ticket. And I did it again. And this beautiful, distinguished, dressed, beautifully, impeccably gentleman came up to me and he said, I would love to help you. And I looked at him and I took a deep breath and I said, okay. And he basically gave me his first class ticket from Agra to Delhi. And he stood by me or behind me the entire time. When the conductor came over, he had a conversation with him. I have no idea what was said to this day, but I enjoyed that first class air conditioning place, and I got myself back to Delhi very quickly. I had a good night's sleep, and it was wonderful and magical. These are the type of experiences that I want to help you create. So when I talk about the 30, like I have a program, it's called the 33-day Art of Receiving program. It's about receiving everything that you desire. So it's about receiving basically all of life with ease, grace, joy, and glory, which means money, which means love, which means partnership, which means businesses that you love, which means money, without feeling shameful or guilty or thinking that you have to work hard or that there's a delay. I mean, sometimes there is a delay, but you have to understand that you're helping to create your reality and that you're fully aligned in divine timing, and I also call it earth timing, with all that is and your high self and what it is you're creating. So we want to help you be open to magic, miracles, serendipitous moments, harmony, connection, unity, and also feeling confident. And that's the thing. I'm going to help you move out and eradicate shame and guilt and things that are not allowing you to actually fully fucking shine and be the person that you're here to be. Oh my gosh, I was the shyest little girl in the whole wide world. I had no voice. I was so afraid of myself, my shadow, my life. And I was determined to find a way to like live in my body. Oh, I was also bedridden in my life, told I'd never walk again by the time I was 30. I'm 57 or 58 or something like that right now. I feel absolutely amazing. I went through menopause, premenopause, menopause many years ago. Zero side effects, zero symptoms. Our bodies are energy. This does include your hormones, your organs, your systems. That's the other thing I'm going to help you do is activate your health, your vitality, your energy, your joy, your clarity, your confidence, help you clear your channel so that you have divine connection to your high self, to your angels, to your team. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to hear my soul, to see my soul. To see my soul do healing work for people is incredible. My angels and my team. I also teach this, Healing Mastery, if you're interested in learning how to clear, heal basically anything. Trauma. Most people are only touching the surface. They're missing some major key pieces that I didn't feel good until I began to see like this, and I will help you. I have a teacher training manual. I have an amazing program. It will not only help you feel different, it will help you help other people feel different in your life and their lives. It's such a gift. Oh my God, it's my passion, it's my purpose. Oh, the thing is that my mom passed away at 54 years old. She just sat down one day and died. I was 34 years old. And when I suffered for so many years until I finally found this work, and it took me on this journey of discovery and learning about energies and entities and so many things, healings. Basically, I've helped so many babies and children and adults heal from so many things and help transform their lives. It is I feel so grateful. It is such a gift. It's an honor. I never even believed these things were true. That's what's so funny. And it is. And you are magical and beautiful and powerful, and you can do this too. So anyway, I lost track of where I was exactly. But my 33-day Art of Receiving program, there's a beautiful program that you can do on your own to help you learn how to receive. So you want to practice receiving without feeling guilty, without feeling shameful. There's a beautiful healing video that you're going to do every single day in that program. And then there's journaling and manifestation techniques and all kinds of things in that program. That's only $33. You can do that, or you can join as a VIP, where we'll do a class once a week, and you're going to be in a sacred container with me, and I'm also going to do healings for you distantly throughout the month to help you eradicate and release shame and guilt and things that are not allowing you to have your voice. So that's what I was talking about. Have your voice. Now it's like I have a voice, and I love my voice, and I'm willing to share and speak up anywhere. And I'll tell you what, it's a very different way to feel and live. And I know that you desire that and you deserve that. It's not just a conversation. Oh, there's so much more to healing than it's not. Non-beneficial limiting beliefs are not just thoughts you think all the time. They're actually energetic things that are held in different places throughout your field and your being and your unconscious and subconscious and your soul personality bank and your organs. And people think that you clear out, like, say, a trauma from your childhood, but there are all kinds of things attached to that trauma, whether that be patterns and pictures and movies and entities and beings and all kinds of things. That's why you don't really create change in your life. Anyway, so if you're interested again in joining me VIP for the 33-day art of receiving, just message me. Every month I'll do a series and hold you in this sacred space and help you and support you and hold your hand and help you learn how to create and shift and change anything. So please join me. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. And I'd love to meet you. All right. All my love. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Remember, you are a spiritual being. You're having a human experience, and you're here to transform the lack, the limitation, the whatever it is, and create magic, miracles, health, vitality, love, adventure, passion, purpose, and ignite yourself on fire. Join me. Love you. Thank you.